Jake Peavy has always showed his passion and desire when he takes the mound. You could use the word intense to describe him, but that might be an understatement. Today, the veteran right-hander is in charge of firing up the Giants and getting a series victory to finish off the homestand. It's Peavy. It's the Giants taking on the Brewers next. It's a warm day for day baseball here at AT Park as we get ready to wrap up this series and this homestand, Brewers and Giants. Hi again, everybody. I'm Dwayne Kuiper. Alongside me is Mike Krukow. Well, a quick turnaround for these two teams, and the winner of this game will win the series. Giants have a chance to go 5-1 on this homestand. That would be good for the Giants as they chase the Dodgers. And a guy that's really pitching well, Mike, right now is Jake Peavy.
Well, Jake Peavy, since he's come off the disabled list, has been the same Jake Peavy the Giants saw the second half of last season when they picked him up this time of year, late in the season. And when he's right, you're going to see a lot of ground balls. And I think that the thing that the Giants are trying to do, they are trying to win another series. They haven't lost a series since early July. And a lot is riding on it. They're going to have to do it without Buster Posey, without Joe Panik, without Angel Pagan. A lot of guys getting some rest on this day game going into an off day. So, Jake Peavy, be good.
5-1 sounds a lot better than 4-2. All right, should be fun. Stay tuned. We will take you to our Comcast Sportsnet studios for an update, and we'll do that right after this.
afternoon as the fans are getting set to watch a rubber match. The Giants have a chance to win the series against the Brew Crew with a victory here today. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. Nori Aoki, there is a lot to like about him. He can hit. He's great in the outfield, and he is speedy. He's quickly becoming a fan favorite here in San Francisco. No surprise, he was loved by the fans when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers, and it is our McDonald's True Stories this afternoon. Aoki, back in 2012 as a Brewer, finished 5th in the National League Rookie of the Year voting. Bryce Harper won that year. Aoki also played in nearly every game with the Brewers in 2012, 2013, and finished both seasons with more than 150 hits. I had a chance to speak with Nori today about his time in Milwaukee. He said it will always be very special to him. It was the first time he played baseball in America, and they taught him how to play baseball the American way. He also said he was introduced to sausages and beer, became a huge fan, and he still wants to run in that sausage race. All right, Jake Peavy on the hill for your San Francisco Giants. We've got lineups, we've got first pitch, and we've got Kruk and Kipe on this final game of the homestand. Stay with us.
CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Jack in the Box. For a limited time, try the new Portobello Mushroom Buttery Jack with melted garlic herb butter. And by Toyota, the full-line automaker with the longest-lasting vehicles in America. Toyota, let's go places.
San Francisco needs a bounce-back win this afternoon as the fans are getting set to watch a rubber match. The Giants have a chance to win the series against the Brew Crew with a victory here today. Welcome back to the broadcast. I'm Amy Gutierrez. Nori Aoki, there is a lot to like about him. He can hit. He's great in the outfield, and he is speedy. He's quickly becoming a fan favorite here in San Francisco. No surprise, he was loved by the fans when he was with the Milwaukee Brewers, and it is our McDonald's True Stories this afternoon. Aoki, back in 2012 as a Brewer, finished 5th in the National League Rookie of the Year voting. Bryce Harper won that year. Aoki also played in nearly every game with the Brewers in 2012, 2013, and finished both seasons with more than 150 hits. I had a chance to speak with Nori today about his time in Milwaukee. He said it will always be very special to him. It was the first time he played baseball in America, and they taught him how to play baseball the American way. He also said he was introduced to sausages and beer, became a huge fan, and he still wants to run in that sausage race. All right, Jake Peavy on the hill for your San Francisco Giants. We've got lineups, we've got first pitch, and we've got Kruk and Kipe on this final game of the homestand. Stay with us.
Presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. Get to the beach. Absolutely. The admission-free boardwalk is now open every day. 76 degrees here at the Yard, and for this city, that's hot. Light winds, humidity at 76%, and there is not a cloud in the sky. All right, let's take a look at the Brewers lineup, who beat the Giants last night. It'll be the red-hot Gerardo Parra to lead things off, then Lucroy. Ryan Braun, this will be his first start in this series due to back spasms, and you can see his numbers here at AT&T Park. Lind, Gomez, and then Scooter Gennett. Gene Segura will hit 7th, followed by Perez, and then Mike Fiers will pitch and hit 9th.
There you see Jake Peavy just getting his hat on, finalizing the last part of his game face. And this is really one of the special things for a starting pitcher, is he gets to lead his team out onto the field. That's not anything that any starting pitcher takes lightly.
Well, plus you can do it when you want to.
Oh, yeah. Like Rocky Bridges used to say, we got 9 that ain't afraid. And out he go from the dugout to the field.
Kind of miss that guy.
Yeah, he was a piece of work. For Jake Peavy, 34-year-old right-hander, in his 14th year at the big league level. This is start number 7. He's last 4 outings since coming off the disabled list. He's got 6 or more innings every time he's gone out there. Overall, 2-4 with a 4.86 ERA. 22 strikeouts against 10 walks at 33 1/3. Lifetime against Milwaukee, 4-4, but with a 2.44 ERA. He's always pitched well against the Brewers. And when he's pitching well, you're going to see a fastball that goes high 80s, low 90s, depending on the grip. A lot of sink. He's got a low 3/4 release, and he can even get down lower at times to a sidearm delivery. He'll throw 2 types of breaking ball, a slider and a curveball. He'll also cut the ball and throw a changeup. That's the 2-seam fastball. This is the 4-seam fastball. There's the 2-seamer. And that's the cutter with a pressure point on your middle finger. Bulging the ball, and there's a slider. And then there's the circle changeup with the circle between the forefinger and the thumb on the side of the ball, and really throwing it on the weak side of your hand with your middle finger, your ring finger, and your little finger, but with the same arm action as the fastball, which is why it's so deceptive. And you got to get that pitch out on your fingertips. Just take a look at the defense playing behind Jake Peavy, starting in the Giants outfield from left to right. It'll be Aoki, Blanco, and Pence, with Pagan getting a day off. That's your outfield. Bestorm in right field. Crawford and Duffy on the left side. Panic another day off. Adrianza and Bell will patrol the right side, and Hector Sanchez will be in the squad putting down the signs today, with Buster Posey getting a day off.
Winner of this game wins the series. Giants winning 4-2 on Monday. Brewers winning 5-2 last night. So here's Peavy looking into Gerardo Parra, and the first pitch of the ball game is on its way, and it's down low. So we get started at 12:46. Parra is 4 for 6 in the series, and he's walked twice. And he fouls it out of play. That means he's been on base 6 times in this series. He's been a pain.
You could tell a guy who's confident just the way he gets in the box, and he is absolutely relaxed. Seeing the ball well, great plate coverage, using the whole field, all the things that guys do when they're hot.
That's going to be out of play, third base side.
And in the month of July, it's been Gerardo Parra on top of the heap, hitting .429. Buster Posey in the 2 slot, hitting .408. Tied with Joey Votto, DJ LeMahieu, Carlos Gonzalez.
Peavy comes in on the hands of Parra, and Parra fouled it into the first row of the club level. Nice catch. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jonathan Lucroy to follow. And this is slap foul, so already a 6-pitch at bat. See Phil Cuzzy behind the dish. Then it's Jerry Davis, Will Little, and Tony Randazzo.
And I think Phil Cuzzy's a low ball umpire. I think that's where he's most consistent. When he runs into a bit of inconsistency, it's up around the belt.
Two and two. Parra with 9 home runs, 31 driven in. He's had 3 lifetime hits in 9 lifetime at bats against PB. Everybody was kind of waiting for Phil Cuzzy to throw up the right hand.
Trying to wrap a little slider around. I think he thought that maybe was a little bit outside, perhaps a bit high.
Hit on the ground to Belt. And Belt kicks it, flips it to PB, and they got him. So staying with the play was Belt and PB. So avoiding a mini disaster. I think that ball came up on Belt right at the last second.
He did the smart thing, and this is a great tip for kids. I mean, if you knock a ball down, you go over there, pick it up with your bare hand. You don't have to go over there and pick it up with your glove, because then you have to exchange glove to bare hand. It takes more time. Here, Belt goes right to his bare hand, a little flip, and PB right there to receive the perfect throw.
Plus, I'm sure it's not easy for PB. He's got a head of steam going over there, and he's got to stop and act like a first baseman. Here's Lucroy.
Highly skilled, professionally trained, world class. Come on, Luke. Athlete.
I agree. There's Braun on deck. Lucroy hitting a .253. Swing and a miss.
And this is what you're going to see from PB. About 80% of the time it's going to be hard stuff between the fastball and the cutter, and especially pitches. The one he throws the most is the changeup, but he will throw a curveball and a slider, and he will drop his arm angles down. He'll give you a lot of different looks.
Outside, 2 balls and a strike. With a foul back, it's 2 and 2. So pretty good grip. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ryan Braun to follow. Popped up, but that's going to be a souvenir. So it stays at 2 and 2. This will be the final game of this 6-game homestand. Giants opened up the homestand on a Friday night against the A's. And they will close it out on a Wednesday night here against Milwaukee. Lucroy digs this one out. And it stays at 2 and 2.
PB is definitely established the knee-high location, and he's moving the ball inside outside. That's what he has to do. This is a good hitting Brewer team, and they really feed well off each other, like a lot of good hitting teams do. One guy hits a line drive, and all of a sudden they all start thinking line drive.
And that got Sanchez. It remains 2 and 2. So Lucroy is going to take a walk, let his opposite number shake this off.
Nice catch.
Brewers in 5th place in the Central.
Come on, Luke. The ball got him on the shoulder. Better on the shoulder than the hand. Hector usually gets 1 or 2 a game.
Two pitch. Got it. 2 down. First strikeout. So here's Braun. Another sellout crowd here. This is day baseball. Our folks here in San Francisco love their day games. I do too.
Yeah, it's fun. Good feel here, daytime ballpark. Ball plays completely differently in the daytime, though, especially when it's warm like it is today.
So Braun, who had some back stiffness, missed Monday and Tuesday's games. He's 2 for 14 against Jake Peavy. And that pitch is high, 2-0.
The big difference in the daytime game compared to a nighttime game when it's warm is just the carry of the fly balls and the way it carries to right field. Right field, right-handed hitters can hit the ball out of the ballpark. Hard to do at night.
Perfect pitch, 2-1. That's the ultimate hitters count. 2-0, 3-1.
You see that lifetime average.
And he hooks this one foul. A little hang time on the breaking ball. It's 2-2.
You don't want to make a habit of hanging pitches above the belt to Braun. I mean, he really covers mistakes well.
Duffy. Side retired. Nice inning for Peavy. Mike Fiers coming out. Top of the order coming up.
Day in the Bay Area.
And here's Bruce Bochy's lineup. It'll be Aoki, Blanco, and Duffy. Then Hunter Pence, his numbers against Milwaukee over the last dozen games. Very good. Bell, Crawford, and Sanchez. Adrianza, his second start in a row. He'll hit 8th and Peavy 9th. Notice, no Posey.
On the hill today for the Milwaukee Brewers will be the right-hander Mike Fiers. That's what he has done in 20 starts, 5-8 with a 3.94 ERA, 116 strikeouts and 112 innings. Tells you he's got good stuff. Fiers is 30 years old. He's a 2-year veteran, and when you take your at-bats against him, he's not going to blow you away with velocity. It averages around high 80s, but he will 2 and 4 seam the fastball. And he's got a curveball, slider, and a changeup, and he's got outstanding command. He's got a high 3/4 release, like a lot of guys on the staff have. Against the Giants, he is 0-2 lifetime, and that's in 3 games with an ERA of 4.05.
So here's Nori Aoki, the former Brewer. Aoki is hitless in this series. He's 0 for 6. Still has that average above 300. And he takes a strike. He's 2 for 3 lifetime against Fires. Two left-handed hitters, and then Duffy. Swinging a high drive foul down the right field line. Which one of those guys do you think caught it?
Well, the tallest guy, who's 7'3". It's an advantage.
He's got the old unis we used to wear.
Those are good unis.
The big G, the big S. Slowly hit. Charging is Jeanette. Jeanette will throw out Aoki on a nice play.
Let's take a look at that Milwaukee Brewer defense playing behind Mike Fiers today. Starting in the outfield, from left to right, it'll be Parra, Gomez, and Braun. Good arms across the board. Segura and Perez on the left side of the infield. Jeanette and Lind on the right side. And Jonathan Lucroy will be in the squad, putting down the signs.
So here's Blanco. Gregor's got it going right now. He's swinging the bat extremely well. Came in as a pinch hitter yesterday, got a hit, stayed in the game, got another one. And that last hit got him over the 300 mark. And he skies this one into right center for Braun, and Braun's going to put it away. So there's a good example of how you can judge what the wind is doing on a really high fly ball to right.
For Mike Fiers, you're going to take a look at how he uses his pitches, and about half of what you see is going to be off speed. 56% fastballs, but the curveball, splitter, cutter, slider, changeup. If you got a grip on it, he can throw it, and he can throw it for a strike. That is his forte.
Here's Duffy. Duffy takes a pitch inside. Duffy 3 for 4 on Monday. And then he took an 0 for 3 yesterday. And a strike. Duffy has only had one at bat against Fiers. He's 1 for 1 lifetime. Hunter Pence to follow. 2 down here in the first. Duffy fouls this one out of play. It's 1-2. So Fiers going after the Rook. The 1-2 pitch. A little pop up out of play. That's that fastball that pitchers think that they can get into Duffy, and sometimes they can, but boy, you'd be surprised at the number of times he will spin on it and hit it out of the park.
Well, you look at him and you think he's lanky and he's got a long arm approach to the ball, but he really doesn't. A lot of his home runs come from that location. He can hit.
Big breaking ball, 2-2.
We're talking about what he's done as a third baseman. He's leading the league in batting average amongst all third basemen. That's not rookie third baseman. That's all third basemen.
Flips this one into right center field, and diving is Gomez, and he takes a hit away from Duffy. Nice play. Thought it was going to fall. Not so. Second inning coming up.
Players for fans, Buster Posey, Angel Pagan just getting a rest day, much needed. And Joe Panik out for the second game in a row. He does have tightness in his back. It's just from wear and tear, Bruce Bochy said. He'll get a day off tomorrow, of course, with the off day. That's 3 days off. And Boch said Panik should be ready to go in Texas on Friday. Gentlemen?
All right. Thanks, Amy. Here's the first baseman for the Brewers, Adam Lind. Sizing up his year, it's turned out to be a good year. 16 home runs, 60 driven in.
Solid.
Overshift is on for Lind, and it's 2-0. See Duffy, the lone defender on the left side of the infield. And a strike. 2 balls and 1 strike. Adrianza in shallow right field. Outfield pretty much straight away. Hit on the ground to Adrianza. 1 out. Here's our AT&T U-verse rewind. Friday against the A's, that was the opening game of this homestand. Jake Peavy went 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, no walks, 2 strikeouts, and he ended up with 100 pitches.
And he did it with the bat as well. Little Butcher Boy split the infield. It's a big hit in that ball game.
So here's Carlos Gomez. Gomez fouls it back and out of play. Gomez hitting in the 5th slot in this lineup. He does not get cheated. As you can see, it's 0-2.
Yeah, pretty couple of hacks right there.
He walked a little ways down off the mound. I don't know if he was impressed with that swing, unimpressed, or didn't even notice it.
I'd like to know what does go on between his ears during the course of a ball game, because he is definitely animated.
I would like that thought cloud above him for 9 innings. Hit up the middle. Crawford gets rid of it quickly.
Carlos Gomez is all about energy. And he is everybody's friend before a game, after a game. And he will definitely do some things you kind of scratch your head at, but everybody who plays with him says he's just a great teammate. And he brings it between the lines. He plays hard.
Yeah, if you're tired on the plane and you want to sleep, then you don't make eye contact with Carlos.
And when he's coming walking down the aisle, fake like you're asleep.
But you're right. Everybody raves about him as a teammate. Scooter Gennett, 1 ball and no strikes. Peavy tried to hit the outside corner and misses. It's 2-0. A game that we're keeping an eye on here in our booth. The Cubs are leading the Rockies 3-1. That game is in the 6th inning. There's a strike. 2-1. Arizona playing well in Seattle. They're beating up King Felix. 3-1. Gennett, 4 home runs, 18 driven in. And a high strike, 3-2. Got him. And that'll end the inning. 2 strikeouts for Peavy. Pence to lead it off.
is brought to you by Momo's, a San Francisco tradition.
Here it's a 0-0 ball game. Is Hunter Pence will lead things off. It'll be Pence, Belt, and Crawford against Mike Fiers. And the first pitch is low. Pence in this series 1 for 3 on Monday. And he had a hit in 4 at bats last night. Runs inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The Giants cheering the A's last night as Sonny Gray shut out the Dodgers. High fly ball center field. Gomez drifting back, still drifting back, and in front of the wall he makes the catch.
Ooh, just missed it. Well, one of our favorite all-time Giants, Rob Nen. His wife Jindy on his left. And what a Giant he was. All-time saves leader with 206 lifetime saves for San Francisco.
Tell you what, he was very popular in our house.
Bino was his nickname. When he came to the game, there be no more scoring.
Here's Belt. Belt hitting 277. Bino's a good man. And the Giants almost rode that shredded arm to a World Series championship in 02.
Well, he gave up his arm to try and win that championship.
He was done.
He never pitched again.
Overshift is on for Belt. It's amazing. Belt bunted for a hit. Where was it? Arizona. And teams ended up coming in at third on the overshift. However, Perez now moves all the way back and Belt fouls it out of play. This was Nen's 300th career save. I think he ended up having the tying run at third with nobody out, and he struck out 2 and got that one. Because that's about as much emotion as you'll ever see from him.
He's pretty stoic on and off that field, but when he got 300, he realized he got up there with a great milestone and put him into the elite closers. Still in great shape. It's odd to see Rob Nen in the house. You immediately start looking for Kirk Reeder.
Yeah. They were definitely the odd couple.
And the 300 save honored in the boardwalk with his plaque. Larry Baer there to shake hands and congratulate him. There he is with a lot of his teammates. It's a great day.
3-2 pitch to Belt. Belt skies it to left. Parra battling the sun and the wind, and he puts it away 2 outs.
Well, Thursday, August 13th is Grateful Dead Tribute Night. It's a special year as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of the Dead. Your special event package will include a ticket to the game when the Giants take on the Nationals and a commemorative Grateful Dead Giants t-shirt. And if you want this t-shirt, you need a special event ticket. Go to sfgiants.com/special events. 1965. Wow.
So here's Crawford. Crawford hitting 270. And he takes low and away. Crawford 1 for 6 in his 6th career at bats against Fiers.
That's a good looking shirt right there. I'm just saying.
Are you a little biased, maybe, you think?
Yeah, I guess I am. We all got on there.
2 balls, no strikes. Hector Sanchez on deck.
Some people know how to spell Krug.
You know what? It's got to be the easiest name to spell.
Well, it is for me.
3-0. Remember, Crawford hit a home run on a 3-0 pitch the other night. It's now 3-1.
Fire's going right at him with a get-it-in fastball. Hector Sanchez chalking up on deck.
Tapped. Foul. It's 3-2. Green light. Here it was.
Second time this year that he has had a green light in the 3-0 count, but this one here was impressive because that's up there where the big boys hit him. 424 feet from home plate. Double cheeker.
Tap foul again off his foot.
Good changeup. And with Mike Fiers, that's what you're going to see in 3-2. You're going to see everything. He is never pigeonholed to one pitch, one speed. If he can put a grip on it, he'll throw it. 3-2. See how his average has consistently climbed home run wise.
Past Billy Hayes, foul.
Paul Diano, first base ball due today. And over at third base is Frank Malakote.
Good battle now. They brought their gloves and they had a shot. So Dad was the one that booted it? Come on.
Dad killing me.
Got him, and that'll end the inning. So Fiers wins the battle. Rob Nen in the house with Kendi. Very nice.
Bochy, and they asked him, "Are you scoreboard watching?" He said, "It's a little early to be doing that. It's all about going out there, playing well, and winning ball games. It's pretty simple at this stage. There's a lot of baseball left."
But the point is they all still know what's going on.
Oh yeah. The fans, pay attention. Read the box scores. Check out the standings. It's part of it.
Segura takes a strike, followed by Perez and then Mike Fiers. One ball and one strike.
Heads up.
Wow, those are the ones where you got to keep an eye on it. And a base hit to right field. Nationals are coming to AT&T Park for a 4-game series, 13th through the 16th, the Saturday game. The first 40,000 fans are going to receive a 2-for-1 flight voucher from Virgin America. Get your tickets at sfgiants.com/tickets. It's your first base runner in the game. And here's Perez. Segura's got 15 steals, so yes, you do have to keep an eye on him. Life is good.
Yep, he's got all the problems solved today.
One ball and no strikes. On deck is the pitcher. Mike fires. Peavy throws, and it's high. It's 2-0.
The redhead.
Yep. Out in the bleachers.
That's a happy mom.
Yep. 2 balls, no strikes. Swing and a miss. Pull the string.
Looked like Perez is way out front on that one. Brewers have hit into 87 double plays as a team. Leads the National League. That's not the category you want to lead the league in.
Well, they hit into 3 on Monday night. Hit out to right center field. Pence on the move, and Pence is going to run it down. What a terrific play as he gets it back in, and Segura gets back in time. Nice play.
He took a run off the board right here. You watch Segura at first base. He was around second on his way to third base. He thought this thing was in Triple's alley. And Hunter Pence runs it down the high backhander, and he needed every bit of that 6'4" frame and the long reach to gobble it up. Just a great play.
Well, as big as he is, every once in a while he'll show you what terrific speed he has. Fires, bunts it hard, foul.
To watch Segura, I mean, he's thinking, oh, that's by him. Now you've got to go back and retouch the base, which he does.
So fires in a spot where he can help himself. Segura goes, and this is bunted fair. So that's a successful bunt.
You know, you kind of make it a declaration when you're coming down that line and you're close to the baseline. If you're Brandon Bell, I mean, you get so far in, and if that ball goes over, I think if he'd have played it back, he might have let that ball go and see if it was going to go foul, but he got so close to home that with that ball being butted high, I think he made the decision. I couldn't take that chance.
I agree.
I think that may have gone foul. So the Brewers get a runner in scoring position.
Parra bounced out to Belt in the first. Foul to the backstop, and it's 0-1.
He has been in the swing mode against Peavy.
He has. Good speed at second. Blocked by Sanchez. 1 ball and 1 strike. We do have quite a few kids out in the bleachers. So we're headed to the end of July. School's going to start pretty soon, right?
Yeah.
We figured June, July, and August were ours. September was right when school started, but I think a lot of schools start earlier than that.
Yeah, like first, second week of August. Summer vacation is winding down.
Three and one. Peavy's got a base to play with.
Well, and he knows that Parra is red hot. I mean, that's the one guy that's got a red flag next to him when you look at that lineup, as hot as he's been. And not to say that Jonathan Lucroy isn't going to give you a whole lot to. He's going to give you a lot to worry about. He's a good hitter, but right now the hottest guy in their lineup is in the batter's box.
This pop-up has got some personality. Who's going to take it? It's going to be the sure-handed Gregor Blanco. Pence is the guy defensively who saved the day. Giants are coming up. It'll be Sanchez to lead it off.
Our fan photo contest is sponsored by T-Mobile. I love this photo. It's Emmett. Oh my gosh, hunka puppy love there. He's sitting in front of Luke Casey's Deli. Yeah, I know that place pretty well, and he's very excited about how the Giants have been playing, as we all are. Love that photo. If you want to get on a future broadcast, tweet your picture. Hashtag CSNBA Data Strong Fan. Hashtag CSNBA Data Strong Fan. It's going to be tough to top Emmett, gentlemen.
And you're not going to get an argument from us.
He's a huge Amy fan.
Here's the 1-0 pitch coming up to Hector Sanchez. And he takes low and away 2-0. Ari Adrianza's to follow. 6 up, 6 down for the Giants offense. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 1 strike. Off the line at third is Perez. Shallow right field is Jeanette. Foul. Heads up, Carl. 2-2. Pitch. Line drive. Foul.
Somebody make a play. There we go. Got a winner.
And another 2-2 pitch. Here it is. Center field. Gomez broke back. Now he's got to come in, and he's going to make the catch.
That's called recovery speed right there.
Yeah, it is. John Miller will be in here in the 4th, 5th, and 6th. So head over to the KNBR side. Dave Fleming on assignment. Here's Ari Adrianza. Playing in Joe Panik's spot, and a strike. Adrianza took an 0 for 3 last night. Currently 2 for 19. That was a foul. Billy Hayes not into it today. 0-2.
Sweet hands, Billy.
Yeah, there's sweet hands, Billy. Jacques Cousteau said, "No, I'm not getting after it today.
No.
If I can't catch it with a hook, I'm not going after it." Look out. 1-2.
Adrianza was really swinging the bat well down in Sacramento. He just has not been able to find the stroke.
Adam Lynn is going to beat Adrianza to the bag. So 8 up, 8 down. And here's Jake Peavy. Peavy's 2 for 11 this year. Peavy pops it up, and that's going to be out of play.
Somebody making a play down there. Yep, Mike Phillips down the Giants dugout. You think he's done this before? Veteran. Out of necessity when you're a redhead.
Swing, and it is.
But with Rusty, he's got the same kind of get up on his surfboard. That's how he rides, just like that.
Look out. It's high to Jake Peavy. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Curveball tapped foul. So we'll reset and do it again. Sharply hit off the glove of Segura, and Peavy's got himself a base hit. And it's the first hit in the game for the Giants. Jake?
First hit, first base runner. We're going to make that our fourth choice. Because not only did he hit the ball hard, he got about 6 pitches out of Fires. I mean, this is a great at bat. And Segura, I mean, he's just absolutely getting handcuffed by the top spin one hopper. Our Ford right choice. Fastball challenge, and he barrels it.
Nori Aoki, who bounced out in the first inning. And he takes low.
So Jonathan Lucroy going to come out and have a talk with Mike Fiers. First time today that Fiers has been in the stretch.
And a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike.
See how teams hit Mike Fiers not very well the first time through, then it gets better, and then the third time through they're lighting him up. Good change up there.
So it's 1-2. Slowly hit right back to Fiers, and that's going to end the inning. John Miller will be in. I'll see you back here in the 7th. It's 0-0.
Follow the action with In-Game Live, brought to you by Smud. There, you're going to find a pitch tracker, live updating box score, real-time play-by-play updates, and much, much more, only on csnbayarea.com. And by the way, SMUD stands for Sacramento Municipal Utilities District. Beautiful day here at the ballpark. No score. We're heading to the top of the 4th inning. And here to tell you all about it is John Miller.
I don't want to tell them all about it.
Well, a little bit of it.
I'm just going to provide captions for the pictures. Peavy, number 22, on the mound, and Lucroy, number 20, at the plate.
That's good. That's good.
What do you think?
I think you have a chance to have a future in this business.
Maybe I'll graduate to headline writer. There's a bouncer foul off to the right toward Ryan Braun, who's in the on-deck circle. There's Braun. No, that's Lucroy. There, I'm already screwing up the whole.
There goes your perfect game. Unbelievable.
There is that Braun. There's Braun, number 8. The big hitters are coming up for the Brewers here. Right over the outside. 0-2. No score in the game. Has been one hit aside. Segura got a leadoff single in the 3rd against Peavy, and then Peavy got the Giants' only hit, a 2-out single, and he smoked that ball. Shot right past Segura, the shortstop. The bloop, base hit. 2-strike hit for Lucroy.
Yeah, second inning in a row, the Brewers have gotten the leadoff hitter on in 2-strike counts. So, a beautiful day here at the ballpark. We promised lots of offense because of how this ballpark is playing. Rather small today because of the heat. So far, we haven't seen much.
Well, there have been some hard hit balls, but you've got to hit the ball hard and you have to hit it deep. Pence hit one all the way to the center field wall that got caught. Gomez made a couple of nice plays out there, and Pence made maybe the play of the game so far to take away probably not just extra bases, but an RBI that would have put the Brewers ahead in the 3rd inning. Here's Ryan Braun. And back out of play.
That is a quick bat. I think that's the thing about Ryan Braun that we've been impressed with since he came up to the big league level, is just how easy he can swing and how much hand speed he has. And it really is a swing very similar to that of Mike Piazza when Piazza was in his heyday. Start slow, finish slow, but in between, lightning.
And that is down the right field line, foul. Into the crowd, strike 2. By the way, we talked about Instagram, and I just have for those Instagrammers out there, I have a tip for a great follow on Instagram. RJ51, RJ number 51 photos. It's Randy Johnson's Instagram account, and he's public with it. Back out of play. As we saw when he was with the Giants, he had a lot of hobbies, a lot of interests other than just baseball, which he was fiercely devoted to and fiercely competitive with. Never satisfied with the success that he'd had. He wanted more. But on his off time, he had a top-notch camera, and he became an outstanding photographer. And he took a lot of photos and posted them on Instagram up in Cooperstown the past week or so, sharing the experience up there. 1-2 the count. Well, he had one today from the group of Hall of Famers that were sitting behind him on the stage, of him giving his speech, where you see the whole panorama, the huge crowd that was there. And he said, "Oh, thanks to Cal Ripken for giving me this picture that he took while I was giving my speech." So another Hall of Famer gifting Randy with a picture from the Hall of Fame ceremonies, and it's all on his Instagram feed. There goes the runner Lucroy, and he steals second base uncontested as that ball was in the dirt. RJ 51, number 51, RJ 51 photos. You can thank me later. First steal of the year for Lucroy. So the Brewers now with the runner in scoring position, and their big hitters are up. Braun, who has knocked in 61 runs this year. Lind on deck. And now it's a full count. 3-2. Braun has never had much success against Peavy. 2 hits in 15 career at bats against him is all. Braun this year hitting .359. It's one of his best seasons yet in these clutch situations. His overall average for the year is only .267, but .359 when you put a runner at second or third or both. As a runner at second right now. into the Giants dugout, a foul ball. So we'll try it again. These are all critical pitches here in a tie ball game, a nothing game against the Brewers' best hitters.
She's pretty excited. She's going to hug everybody. As well you should. It's a big deal getting a foul ball.
3-2 the count. Another foul.
That's 90-mile-an-hour two-seam sink, though. That's good movement. Hey, Polly Brothers. Hunter Pence doesn't care it's an odd year.
Who are the Polly brothers?
I don't know.
I thought that was somehow a reference to you.
Well,
Cal Poly.
I always heard about the Polly Dollies, but never heard a whole lot about the Polly brothers when I was at Cal Poly.
That is high to right field. Hunter Pence with Lucroy tagging. And Lucroy's going to go. And he's out! What a throw by Pence. The Brewers are going to be looking at this on the replay, so you may not write it into your scorebook just yet.
Well, he likes these throws because you don't have to worry about a back runner. You don't have to worry about a cutoff man. He didn't get a lot of momentum coming into this throw, but yet still a one hopper, and Duffy coming up to make a nice play and drop the tag on, and they got him. No contest there. That is a tremendous play. And Duffy makes a great play to come up and pin the tag on the shoulder.
And really not even close, as you can see by that angle.
And there's that. I mean, it's kind of a flat throw. He didn't have a lot of momentum coming into the throw. And Tony Randazzo, the third base umpire, says, grab some pine meat.
So 2 down and nobody on. Now that's a high risk play there by Lucroy with the cleanup hitter coming up.
All right. I mean, you're already in score position at second base. But Lucroy, who runs well, despite being a catcher, I mean, he has good speed. He's thinking, I have this easy. Not so fast, says Hunter Pence.
Adam Lind, who has 60 RBIs this year. And he has been a big run producer.
And one more look at perfection. A one hopper, easy to handle. But I think the play from Duffy was as spectacular as the throw.
But Duffy kind of stuck his nose right in there. He left the bag. He didn't wait for the ball to come to him. He left the bag. Just a great play on both ends. 1-2 the count to Lind, who grounded out to second his first time. And that's back to the screen. The Giants had the overshift on again for him. When I say grounded out to second, he actually grounded out to right field because that's where the second baseman is. 46th outfield assist since 2010 for Hunter Pence. He's had a couple of great ones here in the last couple of weeks in this ballpark. Just off the outside with the changeup. 2-2 now. Jake Peavy working in the fourth inning. This will be his 67th pitch already. And high in the air along the left field line. Aoki, look, the wind is carrying it, and he's caught it. Now that wasn't easy. He's going right. Then he starts to turn around and go back, and then finally has to make a dive for it. What a play.
What an inning for defense from the Giants. The strike from Hunter Pence, and then a great fly ball snag. Adam Lind didn't even run on this play.
He may well have thought it was going to be a foul ball. Still scoreless.
presented by authority of the San Francisco Giants. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of San Francisco Baseball Associates, LLC.
Inning number 4, the last half, and for the Giants it'll be Blanco, Duffy, and Pence, the 2, 3, 4 spots against Mike Fiers. No score in the game. And that's ball 1 too high. And a great illustration of one of the primary strengths of this Giants club. And the bullpen's been great lately. The starting pitching has been up to the task. They've been scoring a lot of runs, but the defense of the Giants, that has been a constant. And a little bit too high for the sleight of Bill Blanco. And the count is 2-0. Duffy on deck. Ball 3. Dodgers play tonight at home. There's Duffy. Dodgers and the A's tonight. Jesse Chavez scheduled to go for Oakland, and Kershaw for the Dodgers, although there was a report earlier today that the Dodgers might push him back to Friday. There's a called strike, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, he's having a bit of a hip problem.
Three and 1 the count, and that's a walk.
Take a look at the play that ended it for the Brewers at the top of the 4th. This is a fly ball that off the crack of the bat, Adam Lind, the hitter, didn't really take off. And as Aoki gets over there, this all of a sudden starts to take on a whole different personality. And Jake Peavy going, yeah, I knew he had it all the time. Not a problem. Kiss my glove. He is fun to watch. He is absolutely a guy that will wear his emotions right on his sleeve. And he has fire in his belly.
Matt Duffy with a runner at first. Duffy, who's been a hot hitter lately, and he got robbed of a hit by Carlos Gomez, who made a dive into shallow right center to catch one that he hit back in the first inning.
This is what your teachers do for summer vacation. That's right. I want to go to that school.
Go to Giants games. Big hole open on the right side. Lind on the bag with Blanco on the right field line, and that is almost to the bricks. Strike 1 the count. Wilbur's got it.
Yeah, I think he's got a couple today. He's having a day. No, that's who got it right there.
So she got it.
Yep, some people know how to wear a cowboy hat.
And she's got food in one hand.
She needs to help that guy out a little bit.
Back out of play. Strike 2. Dodgers made a trade today, apparently. Acquired Matt Latos from the Miami Marlins. Latos, who's having a not a great year, but since coming back from the disabled list, he has pitched much better. 7 starts back from the DL at 2.96 ERA. And he had a pretty strong game against the Giants when they were down there. And Blanco just does get back.
That's a quick move from Fiers. You can't get too leaky off of first base if you're a would-be stealer.
Blanco has 5 steals this year, although he's been thrown out 4 times. And back to the bag again. Jerry Davis, the crew chief there, keeping an eye on things as Blanco dusts himself off. A report has come out today now that although the Detroit Tigers have been putting it out there that they're more in the acquiring mode than the selling off mode, trying to get back into the pennant race. high and tight, and it's 1-2. But a report came out this afternoon that the Tigers now are telling teams that know that they are going to go into retool mode, and they're going to make David Price, their ace left-hander, available, and Yoenis Cespedes, both of whom would be free agents at the end of the year. They're going to make them both available. And the field offers from teams on those guys.
Just like putting a for sale sign out in front of your ballpark.
Two and two.
Still trying to pound the hands of Pat Duffy. Fire's not an easy guy to steal on him for two reasons. One, he's got a very quick pickoff move, and two, he gets rid of the ball quickly. He'll give his catcher a chance to throw out a runner. And Jonathan Lucroy, the catcher for the Brewers, I mean, he's really got a quick, compact release. Gets rid of the ball very fast.
3-2. Well, we'll keep an eye on Blanco. What do you think? Is he going to take off here?
Well, you're betting on contact, and with Duffy, that's a pretty good bet. 3-2. If you're going to go in this situation, you're not going to get a great jump. Hitter's got to make contact.
He is running. He does not make contact. The throw is high. Blanco steals the bag.
All right, time for our Togo's big play, the Togo's way. And Hunter Pence going hard to his right. High backhander, taking away extra bags. And the throw from right field to third base, an absolute one-hop pearl. And we think those two defensive plays from Pence today are worthy of our Togo's big plays, the Togo way.
Huge in each case. So here's Pence now trying to knock in a run. And the count is 0-1. That first one, the ball in the right center, that could well have been a run. Segura was on first, a fast runner. He had gone around second by the time Pence had caught that ball. So he may well have scored, and then he kept Lucroy from getting to third. He would have been at third with just one out in that inning had not Pence thrown him out. Toward the middle. Into shallow center. And Segura kept that ball from going through, keeping Blanco from scoring.
Well, that was the play. And he's taking a little inventory right now, but I thought this ball was in center field. I mean, he lays completely out for it. There's not going to be a throw at first. He did look quickly to third to see if indeed Blanco was coming around third base. This is just great defense. And I think he knocked the wind out of himself when he went down to catch this thing. Completely lays out right at the tip of his web. And that saved a run.
I think this last couple of days we're seeing a Brewers team that thought of itself as a contending team when the season began. And it's been a very disappointing season for them. But here they are playing a contending team and a hot team. In these last couple of days, the Brewers have played extremely well, as if they themselves are in contention. So just a great play to keep the Giants off the board. Here's Belt now to try and get Blanco home, and he takes a called strike.
Big slow curveball to take strike one. Well, and I think it's important for the Brewers to have a good second half. You know, they had an expectation coming out of spring. This is a team that had a tremendous first 4.5 months last season. They were one of the best teams in baseball. Then they had a rough last 6 weeks, took them out of contention. But they thought that they were going to come into the season and contend. And everything that possibly could go wrong early on in the season went wrong and took out their year. They replaced managers. Ron Renicky gone. Craig Counsell comes in. And I don't really think they have that far to go to get back into contention in the National League Central, which is a very tough division.
Ball on a strike to Belt. Runners at first and third. One out. Infield double play depth. 2-1. And now Lucroy runs out for a direct conversation with Mike Fiers. Belt hit a fly ball to left his first time. That same kind of a fly ball could get the speedy Blanco home here, although that's a very strong arm out there in left field, Gerardo Parra. Giants getting a runner to third base for the first time today. Brewers have not yet gotten a runner as far as third against Jake Peavy. 2-1. And back out of play.
That's a fly ball situation. We've got really good arms across the board for the Brewers in the outfield. You have great speed with Blanco, so a medium fly ball would get the job done, and most likely. But the one thing you have to avoid if you're Bell is the strikeout. You've got to get the ball in play.
2-2 the count. 3-2.
Easy take there.
Brandon Crawford has been one of the top RBI men in the league this year on deck. So we'll keep an eye on Pence now. Giants have one steal in the inning. Pence at first, Blanco at third, a 3-2 count to Belt. Pence back standing. Brewers don't have the big overshift on with men on base here like they had earlier for Belt when they had the three infielders to the right of second. They're playing him to pull, though. You see Segura at short, well over toward the middle. 3-2 the count. Pence not running, and Belt just gets a piece of it.
90-mile-an-hour challenge right at the knees.
Lucroy goes out to talk with his pitcher once again, Mike Fiers.
Let's see where this thing may have caught a piece. Yeah, just on the back of his left wrist, his glove hand up, or the wristband. By the way, wristbands don't help you a whole lot if you're going to take a foul tip. Maybe a little, maybe 1%.
Madison Bumgarner looking on with Buster Posey from the Giants dugout. Eric Ortega, one of the assistant trainers, in the foreground. 3-2 the count. Pence is running. Strike three. And that is a double play. Still scoreless. On to the fifth inning. and final Orange Friday happy hour presented by Lagunitas Brewing Company. This is a special event package. You get your ticket to the game with the Nats, access to the happy hour with live music and entertainment by the Killer Queens, an all-girl Queen tribute band, and a complimentary Lagunitas beer or soft drink. To access the event, you need the Orange Friday Happy Hour special event ticket. Visit sfgiants.com/special events. We've played 4 scoreless innings here at AT Park. As we move into the 5th, Jake Peavy to Gomez, ball 1. That was the 68th pitch thrown by Peavy.
Kind of an odd way that the bottom of the 4th ended for the Giants to strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Crawford shading the eyes with the glove. That wasn't easy.
I mean, he makes it look easy, and it wasn't easy. I mean, he can put style on any play. He really can. Cover his eyes with his glove, shades down, right in the sweet spot. He really is one of the more stylish players I've ever seen.
Here is Scooter Gennett, and it's 0-1. Carlos Gomez is 0 for 2 now, although he's made a couple of excellent plays in the field. He chased that changeup down below the knees. It's 0-2.
I think he's had a nice feel with that pitch today.
Nothing to nothing. We're in the 5th inning. Just got a piece of it. Another changeup.
Came back with a little, and he'll do that. He'll change grips on the changeup, and not a lot of guys will do that. But you get a different pitch when you throw a changeup off a 4-seam grip and then throw it off a 2-seam grip, just like the fastball. Different movement. He gets bigger movement with the 2-seam, just like on the fastball.
One and 2. We were talking about Matt Latos being acquired by the Dodgers today. The Dodgers sent some minor leaguers to Miami, but they also acquired the former Giant Michael Morse in that deal, and will reportedly receive the competitive balance draft choice from the Marlins for next year. And I guess the whole point was they're taking on a bunch of salary with Latos and Michael Morse. And Morse has another full year on his contract in exchange for that coveted draft choice for the Marlins. Brandon Bell right next to the bag. 1 away. 2 away. After Gomez popped out to start the inning. 2 down, and here comes Segura. But there's been speculation by a lot of the baseball pundits around the country about what the Dodgers' intentions are for Michael Morse, since he's only been playing first base this year when he's been healthy in Miami. And Dodgers are pretty well covered at first base with Adrian Gonzalez.
Yeah, it's not likely they're going to platoon him.
Segura, right center field. Pence, and that is the inning. And a quick inning for Jake Peavy. 9 pitches and out. Last of the 5th, Brandon Crawford coming up. No score.
You can see that right here on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Pregame live at 4:30. Friday, the game starts at 5 o'clock. Giants will return to the side of their 2010 World Series clinch. Plus, you get complete pregame, postgame coverage, and Giants insider Alex Pavlovich right here at CSN Bay Area, the authentic home for the Giants fan.
Mike Fiers starts with a slow curveball to Brandon Crawford for ball one. Crawford struck out his first time. Scoreless last of the fifth inning. That was pitch number 69 thrown by Fiers. Hector Sanchez is on deck. Another big curveball. 2-0. The Giants return to Arlington, Texas. And it'll be a little bit of a different ballpark than the one they played in back in October and November of 2010. That's a foul ball. And it's 2-1. And not that they've changed anything about the ballpark per se, but it's going to be over 100 degrees all three of those days. And that is the notorious for being the Coors Field of the American League in regular season play.
Well, how'd the Yankees do there yesterday?
The foul ball, 2-2 now. The Yankees, how about that game? Is that one of the craziest games you've ever seen?
That was bizarre.
The Yankees fell behind 5-0 in the first inning. And then the Rangers never scored again and never had another hit after that. And the Yankees scored 21 runs.
It's baseball. That's the only way you can explain that.
2-2 the count. And that's back out of play. But I've experienced it firsthand, having done a lot of games in that ballpark. I did a game where the Texas Rangers scored 16 runs in one inning.
How long did that take?
It took almost an hour for that one half inning. For one half inning. 96 pitches were thrown in the half inning.
Unbelievable.
A check swing. But Phil Cuzzy said he went. Strike three. That was his ruling. So one away.
Now Dusty Baker's son Darren is all grown up. Handsome young man. Pretty good player too. You might remember the 2002 World Series when JT Snow came in, scored, and there was bat boy Darren Baker, who was all of about 3 years old, in the way. And JT scooped him up. It was a great memory about that series.
And that's ball one to Hector Sanchez. Well, that's 13 years ago, so is he about ready to go to college now? I hear he's a pretty good player. Shallow left. Here is Parra. And that is out number 2. Well, JT Snow scored, and with David Bell coming in right behind him, Darren Baker was retrieving Kenny Lofton's bat, because Kenny Lofton was his favorite as a young kid. And he was going to take care. His job was to take care of Lofton's bat, no matter what else was going on.
Well, he got it. Job well done.
Darren Baker, and named for Darren Lewis, who was, I think, one of Dusty's favorites, just because he's such a great guy, great man. Adrianza with a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. He grounded out to first his first time. 2-1.
Adrianza just trying to get something going offensively, get a little confidence in that box. I mean, he's right on top of the plate.
Medium deep, right near the edge of the track. Gomez, and that retires the side. Darren Baker in his Giants gear. No scores. We head to the 6th.
Valuable is versatility at this level. If you ask skipper Bruce Bochy, he actually said it's invaluable, and he was referring to Gregor Blanco. Of course, he's been starting for the team. He also was able to come off the bench the other night in a 3-2 ball game. He came up with a clutch pinch hit RBI double, and his teammates, yeah, they dig it. Chris Heston said Blanco kind of flies under the radar, but every time this team has success, Blanco is right there in the mix. Gentlemen.
Indeed, Blanco has been a key man for the Giants in 2 World Series championship seasons. As first ball swinging, Hernan Perez pops it up. Adrianza, and 1 pitch, 1 away for Jake Peavy as we start the 6th inning. No score. Remember back in 2012, one of the things the Giants overcame that year in mid-August was the suspension, which stunned everybody, of Melky Cabrera. Melky had been the Giants' best hitter that season. At times he had carried the Giants. And it was Blanco who ended up becoming the left fielder sort of by default, because that was the end of the year for Melky Cabrera. And the Giants went on and won the World Series with Blanco as the everyday left fielder. Mike Fiers back to Peavy. Fiers, it'll be another few minutes before he gets to first base, so plenty of time, whether he fielded it cleanly or not. 2 down. Say, Giants fans, did you know the StubHub app is personalized just for you now? With the StubHub app, you can select your favorite teams and artists and discover new ones too. Start at StubHub and let the fun find you, the official fan-to-fan marketplace of the San Francisco Giants. So 2 down, and here is the leadoff man, Gerardo Parra. Parra is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to first and flied out to shallow center. One ball, 1 strike now. Peavy had a very quick 5th inning, 9 pitches. He had thrown a lot of pitches in the first 4 innings, averaging about 17 per inning. But a 9-pitch 5th inning and a chance for a quick inning here. 2-1 now to Parra.
Now Parra is a guy right now that you just have to use all your tricks. You have to mix movement, you've got to mix speed, and you have to nail your locations.
And he took that one.
Just not helping you out. I mean, that's what good hitters do. When they get into a hot streak like Parra has been into, they just don't go out of the zone and help you a whole lot. I mean, they swing at strikes and make you come in that strike zone.
3-1. And he drops down a bunt. And that's a base hit.
Well, that's a good play if you can steal a base. And he can do that. But immediately, because he did that, it's almost like put the pressure on to steal a base. And I say that because he's got power. Parra's got 9 home runs, and in a ball game where it's 0-0, if you have power and you opt to bunt, then you better be able to steal a base.
The general rule of thumb, 2 down and nobody on, you want to try to get an extra base hit, get yourself into scoring position.
Exactly.
So here is Lucroy, and he's one of the Brewers' big hitters, one of the big RBI guys. And Parra has the speed to steal a bag. He has 7 steals is all. That's a base hit to left. And stopping at second is Parra. So Lucroy has his 2nd straight hit. All this starting with 2 down and nobody on. And now 2 on for big Ryan Braun. And Dave Righetti, the Giants pitching coach, will head to the mound, and the Giants bullpen is busy. The meeting on the mound is brought to you by Ring Central, a leader in team communications.
Now Dave Righetti just going to take some time right here. He's going to wait for Phil Cuzzi, the plate umpire, to come and shoo him off the mound.
Giants have the right-hander Strickland and the left-hander Affeldt. heating up in the bullpen.
Depending on the umpire, I mean, you can get as many as 6-7 throws out of a good visit on the mound. And for Dave Righetti, they have kind of like a fake job getting off the field. You just can't be in any hurry. And because of that, everybody's just about establish their fastball and they're good to go down there in that Giants bullpen. You're going to get another 8 throws when you get in the ball game. So basically 10, 12 throws, you can establish a fastball, get 8 more in the field, 20 throws, you're good. But this is the biggest guy in this game that Peavy has faced.
Ryan Braun is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to third and hit the fly ball to right that turned into a double play back in the 4th inning. One of the big plays of the day for the Giants. And he chased. It's 0-1. And Peavy has had a history of success against Braun. Braun, including today, with 2 hits in 16 career at bats against Jake Peavy. On 1 the count. Parra, who runs well at second. Lucroy at first. Chased another one. Strike 2.
Hard slider. Twice he goes after balls off the plate away. You get a guy to swing it balls that far out of the strike zone. I mean, he's not seeing you. That right there, you can understand as to why he's not put up good numbers against Peavy. He doesn't see the spin on that slider. And you can go right back out there again. If he keeps swinging at him, keep throwing.
No balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 out. No score, 6th inning. And they tried it again. And taken this time by Ryan Braun. Braun stretched out his back after that last pitch. He missed the first 2 games of the series with lower back stiffness. He has been great. He's been the Brewers' leading RBI man. 61 batted in for the year, hitting over 350 in spots like this. Back to the screen.
That's one they really had designed to throw above the letters. That got a little bit too much strike zone. And they definitely got away with one there. Braun had a good pitch to hit. But you've got 2 options now. By throwing that pitch, you can go back outside with that slider off the plate away, hoping that he would swing in another one out of the strike zone. Or you can go up above the hands again inside. You do not have to throw a strike.
Parra at second, Lucroy at first. 1-2 the count.
Little cutter, not a full slider. Just off the plate away. And this was not a missed call, I do believe, because he nails his location. I don't think it was a strike. Not to say Peavy didn't want it. Throws a 2-hopper right now up there. He'd want that too.
2-2 the count. And he chased and missed, and the inning is over. 2 men stranded for the Brewers. Still scoreless. Peavy coming up. Then the top of the order, Aoki and Blanco.
on CSN Bay Area is brought to you by Heffernan Insurance Brokers. Insurance and financial services for you and your business. Visit hefins.com and by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
Still 0-0. And the Giants are going to go to their bench right now. Jake Peavy, 6 innings, no runs, 4 hits. He's at 91 pitches. And I think one thing we have seen, Mike, with Jake since coming back from the disabled list, he's pitched well in all of his starts. Very similar to this one today. But around the 6th, 7th innings of those games, they've scored some runs against him. So now the Giants are going to be a little more proactive. So Pagan up as the pinch hitter for Peavy against Mike Fiers. And that's a called strike.
I think the Giants have to be thrilled with what they saw from Jake Peavy today. I mean, he just keeps getting stronger and stronger. Command of all of his pitches was just fantastic. And I think his slider was very good, even to the last hitter he faced, Ryan Braun.
Big curveball, and it's 0-2. Cubs beat Colorado today. John Lester of the Cubs struck 14 batters out. Carlos Gonzalez hit another home run for Colorado. That one bounced way in front of the plate.
Carlos Gonzalez is the hottest guy in baseball.
That was his 8th homer in the last 7 games. Wow. That's pretty hot. And there's been a lot of talk that now that Tulowitzki's been traded, that he's next. But then there's also speculation that he might get traded in the offseason instead. Back to the screen.
Try to go up above the letters. It's an effective pitch when most of this at bat has gone down around the knees or below the strike zone in the dirt. All of a sudden you throw that high fastball up around the chest. That's a tough one to catch up to.
Curveball, dribbled foul. Jake Peavy, no runs, 4 hits in his 6 innings. Never walked anybody. Had 3 strikeouts. 91 pitches in his 6 innings. The Giants have been shut out so far by Fiers. Aoki on deck. Blanco due up 3rd in the inning. Wind is blowing out on a warm day. And that curve in the dirt.
They're still trying to throw that big overhand curveball down on top of home plate. It's a good pitch to throw left-handed hitters if you're a right-handed pitcher and you've got that curveball. You're ahead in the count 0-2, 1-2. You get a lot of strikeouts, and that's all you're trying to do is bounce it on home plate.
Right in there, strike 3 call.
And Pagan guessed wrong. Let's take a look at the out that ended it for the Brewers in the 6th inning from Peavy. First pitch, swing and miss. Slider comes back again. A quick 0-2 with breaking balls. Then he goes away and Braun lays off. Now he goes with the fastball. This is a good pitch to hit. He misses it. Now he just misses a little cutter off the plate. And then the payoff pitch, another slider. He does not see that spin. A big strikeout ended the threat.
And a foul into the crowd just behind the Giants dugout. Interesting report just came in from a Bleacher Report on the internet, Mike, in regards to that trade that was being reported earlier today where the Dodgers were getting Matt Latos and Michael Morris from Miami. It says that trade is on hold right now, reportedly, over the medicals. Could be falling apart.
Wow. Stay tuned. It's usually what happens. I mean, a deal is agreed to, and then you swap the medical histories of each player. Have your own medical personnel look it over. If there's a red flag or 2 or 5, it can nix a deal.
1 strike to Aoki, and the curve in the dirt from Fiers. Aoki has grounded out to second and hit one back to the pitcher. Aoki has not yet had a hit since his return from the disabled list.
See the ERA from Fiers. He did not have a good start, but every year he's gotten tougher, or every month he's gotten tougher. ERA's gone down. He's throwing well today.
2-1. Hunter Strickland, a right-hander, warming up in the Giants bullpen, and now the Brewers are going to get something going in their bullpen. That's Corey Knebel, the right-hander, will start to throw down there. 3-1. Now, Fiers. Somebody bring him a mirror. He's. Oh, look at my shirt. I look terrible.
Dude, it's wrinkled.
he's tucking things in. And all right, he looks great now. 3-1. Strike 2 call. Aoki thought he had the walk.
Down and in on the corner. Not much of an exaggeration with the target from Lucroy in a 3-1 get it in situation. He's sitting right behind home plate. I think Paul Cuzzy has had a good day behind the plate, calling balls and strikes. Phil Cuzzy, I beg your pardon.
Caught at third by Perez. So Aoki hit it hard, but into some bad luck. 2 down. And not Gregor Blanco.
This is the best at bat that he has had since he's come off the disabled list. And you can see a nice play from Hernan Perez. That's our Exmo, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer.
I like that Exmo.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Is that your idea?
I wish it was.
Here is Blanco, who has flied out to right center and walked and stolen a base. Hitting .300 for the year, .377 on base percentage. Now Neil Kotz, a left-hander, has joined Knebel, the right-hander, down there in the Milwaukee bullpen. Matt Duffy is on deck. Milwaukee 4 hits. The Giants only 2 hits against Fiers. Neither team has scored a run. And a changeup in there for a strike.
Well, with everything that Fiers can do with the ball, 2 types of fastball, cut, slider, curveball, changeup, he is throwing it in every count, and that's really what has kept the Giants' bats in check.
1-2. Dwayne Kuiper will be returning from the radio side. Here to the luxurious surroundings in the television side, from the relative salt mines of the radio booth. And there's Scooter Gennett, and the inning is over. Dwayne Kuiper to take you the rest of the way. Coming to the 7th inning as Strickland will enter the game from the Giants bullpen. It is still 0-0.
Toyota game summary is brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. We're going to talk about the 2 starting pitchers today because they were fantastic. A good old-fashioned duel between Mike Fiers and Jake Peavy. Both went 6 innings. Fiers with 2 hits allowed, Peavy with 4. 1 walk by Fiers, none by Peavy. 5 strikeouts against 3 for Peavy, and both pretty close to the number of pitches that they have thrown. That is our Toyota game summary, brought to you by your local Toyota dealer. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change, tune-up, and brake experts. New pitcher now for the Giants. It's going to be Hunter Strickland. 27th time that he's come in. 0-1 with a 1.80 ERA. 32 strikeouts against 5 walks in 25 innings. He has had a great first half of this season. No score, top of the 7th. Once again, here's Dwayne Kuiper.
And it'll be Adam Lind stepping in. First pitch is wide, 1 ball and no strikes. Lind is bounced out. He's flied out. Off the line at third is Duffy. Outfield straight away. And the pitch. Well, just a little bit outside, 2-0. Right? I say that because Bob Uecker did not make the trip to San Francisco.
Bob Uecker, the Hall of Fame broadcaster for these Brewers, no longer coming west as he has cut his schedule down a little bit, but he would say, had he been here, just a bit outside.
So he's not coming west?
Well, at least not to San Francisco.
3-0.
Like Phil Cuzzy thought about calling that one. Just a little high. How high? Just a little. I think it was called correctly. I think his zone's been very consistent today.
Strickland, who is known as a guy who throws hard but a strike thrower, throws 4 pitches out of the strike zone. So here's Gomez. That's the first walk issued in this game for a Giants pitcher.
3rd time in the 7 innings that the Brewers have managed to get that leadoff hitter on base.
So here's Gomez. Lind, not a base stealer. Five in a row out of the strike zone.
That did not miss by much. I don't think that anybody's worried that he's not going to be able to throw a strike here. You mentioned his ability to throw strikes. He's pretty consistent for that strike zone, even at that high velocity, which makes him unique.
Well, now we got a problem.
Now there's concern. It's one thing to have a streak of wildness, and that's going to bring out Dave Righetti in that last pitch. And there's the concern you're talking about. As he comes out, George Cantos immediately heading down to the Giants bullpen.
So Cantos starting to get loose.
And Phil Cuzzy, the plate umpire, I mean, he knows the deal. I mean, he's going to let Righetti get out there a little bit. I think he's one of the more patient umpires in regards to breaking up the rock pile.
Or he said, day game after a night name, I'm not leaving this area.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's 2-0, and now Lind is at second base. Out of play. Gomez figured I might not get a better pitch than this one right here, so he took a rip at it.
Yes, he did.
2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
So Dave Righetti once again getting his pitcher back in the strike zone.
So you either have to be a Mr. Fix-It guy or a psychiatrist, right?
Sometimes both. Sometimes both in the same visit.
Two and two. Out of play. Do you ever stand out there while the pitching coach is trying to do both, and you're thinking, he's making this stuff up? And
are you kidding? Half the time. Especially when you know they're out there and they're killing time.
He's making this up. He thinks I'm a left-hander.
Herb Starrett, come on.
So Gomez in the swing mode, fouls it back.
Oh, nice play by a gentleman here at the club level, just below us. Herb Starrett would come out. If I can't help you, I won't hurt you. Okay.
I really didn't like to be a part of those visits, but
I always thought your contribution was a whole lot more effective than what I got from some of the pitching coaches.
Aoki's coming in on this pop-up. He was battling it without sunglasses, I believe.
You'd come out to the mound and you'd say, 2 rows above the visitor's dugout aisle seat, and I'd look up there and there'd be a pearl sitting there. I was like, yeah. All right, Kipe.
Yeah. That would have been right after Herm Starrett visited the mound.
But hey, it got your mind away from mechanics and the moment. Come back, refocus, reboot, go get him.
Here's Scooter Gennett. He struck out and he's bounced out. Lind at second. First pitch is wide, 1-0. Lind, a left-handed hitter, and that was a hitter that Strickland had a hard time throwing strikes to.
Jonathan Broxton heading down to the Brewers bullpen. Have not seen him yet in this series.
He's hard to miss. Gennett trying to bunt, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Segura watching from the on deck circle. Swing and a miss, 1-2.
That's just country hardball right there. You can throw a fastball by a guy at the letters at this level. I mean, that is something that impresses hitters.
We showed Rob Nett earlier. He could do it when he was healthy. There's Bino. Aging well, that young man. The pitch on the ground. Crawford thought about it. He's going to get the out at first. Can't think about it for too long.
Hard smash, and it was right there, and he looked at third and then realized, no, I'm going to get the sure thing.
So here's Segura. Breaking ball for a strike and a good one, and it's 0-1. Strickland, who walked Lynn, threw a wild pitch, throws to Segura, swinging a foul back. It's 0-2.
He was on it.
Two. Takes a good rip at a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. It stays at 0-2. Strickland rubbing up the baseball. 4 hits in the game for the Brewers. Giants only have 2. There's Lynn. Strickland trying to get the Giants off the field here in the 7th. 0-2. Fouled again.
That's good. That's a good slider. I mean, great location right there, outside corner at the knees.
That's a pretty good. It's a pretty good stay alive swing.
I mean, he's seeing it pretty good.
Hit up the middle. Crawford charging and throwing, and they got a nice play. So hold your breath, but Brandon Crawford comes through like he always does. Duffy, Pence, Belt coming up. Well, here, the old ball yard, where it's a happy place. No score. So here's Mike Fiers to take on Duffy, Pence, and Belt. We are in the 7th. Nice job by Hunter Strickland. Duffy is 0 for 2. Here's Fiers and the pitch. And Duffy drives it into right center field. That's a base hit. Ron will grab it on a hop, and Duffy with a leadoff single. And that's the 3rd hit in the game for the Giants.
Second time the Giants have been able to get that leadoff hitter off. They did it, or on base. They did it again the 4th. Here's the first time they've done it with a base hit. And immediately more throwing. Will Smith, the left-hander, getting up for the Brewers. Saw him in last night's game. And Marcus Hanel, the bullpen coach, saying he is ready.
Pence with a dribbler foul, and it's 0-1.
Another changeup thrown effectively by Fiers.
Belt had a base hit in the 4th. Almost trickled into the outfield, which would have scored a run, but Segura made a diving play on the ground ball to keep it from getting into the outfield. Drive into left center field. Parra's on the move. He can't get it. Here comes Duffy. They're going to wave them in. Segura's throw. Not in time. Giants take the lead. Pence with a double. It's 1-0. I mean, when you see Parra go after a ball, you just think he's going to catch it somehow.
Now, you're right. I mean, Gold Glover out there left field, but he just didn't get much time. And it's a strong top hand from Hunter Pence, turning around that letter high fastball, and it got out there in a hurry, and not even Parra can catch up. But you're always concerned about the arms because he's got a good one. Segura's got a good one, but his time, Duffy too much speed. He coasts in, hand slaps home plate. And Giants finally break through and take the lead. And watch Duffy go. Roberto Kelly saying, let's do it.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service. Your oil change tune-up and brake expert. We'll be back.
New pitcher now for the Brewers will be Big Will Smith. 48th time that he's come in. You're going to see a low to mid-90s fastball, curveball slider combination, occasional changeup. Good numbers, especially in the strikeout category. And that's what he's pitching for now.
And Belt fouls it back.
Get it in, lazy first pitch slider. Well, Hunter Pence, Bruce Bochy, Brandon Crawford. I have not seen these. Psyched.
I think they got the eyes right.
Yep.
The 0-1. Base hit right field. They're going to hold Pence. His Braun's got a pretty strong and accurate arm. And Belt with a base hit. Giants now with runners at the corner.
Well, with nobody out and you got a good RBI guy on deck, man, that all went into the equation for Roberto Kelly, and he said, why take a chance? But a nice at bat here, just a bullet. A two-hopper out to a good arm, and with the arm and reputation of Braun, they're not going to challenge him.
Jeanette was way off on where he was at to try to catch that line drive. Might have knuckled on him. So here's Crawford.
He's probably going to look for that first pitch slider that Will Smith threw Brandon Belt to start his at-bat off. Smith will take a lot of first pitches out with that lazy slider. And it's usually up when he throws it.
Strike to Crawford at the knees. He's 0 for 2.
With the fastball.
Crawford, fly ball. Left center field, starting to carry. Gomez is going to track it down. Coming in to score is Pence. And Crawford picks up his 63rd RBI of the season.
Yeah, and he's just sitting on that breaking ball. You know, you take that first pitch, strike one fastball. You know, a lot of guys kind of have a hard time forgetting, but he was steady, stayed with the look for the slider speed, got it. Comes up with a real nice situational at bat. And there's the height of that pitch, allows him to get that ball in the air. It's just a disciplined approach and a very nice at bat.
So here's Hector Sanchez, who takes low. So in this inning, Duffy and Pence. They come up with the big hits to open up the inning. Sanchez batting right-handed for the first time today, and it's low. A couple of switch hitters hitting back-to-back. Sanchez and Adrianza, who's on deck. On the ground, fair over the bag. Perez doesn't think so. Belt is going to stop at third. Into second with a double is Sanchez.
Tony Randazzo, the umpire at third base, making the call.
Went over the bag.
Doesn't have. Wait, once it hits on the grass before the bag, it doesn't have to land in fair territory once it goes past the bag, as long as it goes over the bag when it does. I don't think that the Brewers will contest that. But I think what Perez, the third baseman, was talking about was the fact that it landed foul once it bounced over the bag.
So Adrianza is going to hit with one out, second and third. And do not discount a squeeze play in this spot. One ball and no strikes. And a strike to even the count.
Now what will happen is Bochy will put the squeeze play on and then he'll hold it.
Well, it's not on now. Adrianza never stepped out. And it's low. It's 2-1. And now he looks down to third. And if you're on the defense, you look for something strange that the hitter might do if he's sending a signal back.
Like tap his toe with the bat.
On the ground and a base hit. Belt scores. Here comes Sanchez. The throw home. It is past LaCroix. Adrianza down to second. Giants lead 4-0.
And Hector Sanchez may be hurt.
He is hurt.
Watch to see if he slides on the ball. Underneath the knee, up. Ouch. So they're going to give minutes to try and get some feel back in the leg, but I'll tell you what, Adrianza needed that hit, and that was big.
I mean, here's Braun's throw.
You're looking at it right here. I mean, Lucroy gets short hopped, and it rolls right under the left leg, the knee of Hector Sanchez.
I mean, he's in front of the plate without the ball.
You're right. I mean,
It may very well have been if he'd have been out, they'd have changed it. So here's Counsell. I mean, if the throw takes you into the path, then it's okay. So Will Smith is going to depart. New pitcher coming in, 4-0 Giants. Up. And I'll also talk about the game with Murph and Mac, who are here today, by the way. And I'll do that tomorrow morning on KNBR 680. Murph and Mac are here. It's 4-0 Giants.
New pitcher now for the Brewers will be the veteran Jonathan Broxton. 40th time he's come in with a 1-2 record. ERA bloated at 6.00. Still good strikeout total, 36 in 36 innings. Still throws hard, mid to high 90s, a little cutter, curveball, slider. A lot of hard stuff.
Here's Maxwell, who takes the ball outside. Giants did not score anything for Peavy. They've scored 4 for Strickland. If I'm Peavy, I got a problem with that.
Well, hey.
Peavy throws 6 innings. Strickland throws 1. Swinging a bouncing ball foul. But as a starter, it's the way it goes sometimes. But Peavy pitched good.
Well, you win awards with your win total, but you win credibility within your organization for the amount of innings that you pitch. That's your job. Your job is to eat up innings, and Jake Peavy did his job today, and he did it very well.
Maxwell with a swing and a miss, 1-2. I look at Broxton and thinking he has to have a row on the plane by himself.
Yeah, he's a big fella. He gets an extra seat belt.
Oh, goodness. Outside to Maxwell, 2-2. On deck is Nori Aoki. Giants with 4 runs here in the 7th. Tap foul. Stays at 2-2.
Broxton not too far away from getting his 10 years in at the big league level, and that is a significant milestone. 6'4", 305-pounder out of Augusta, Georgia.
Think he plays golf?
You think?
No.
I think he's a hunter fisherman.
From a good town, though.
Yeah. Good town for golf. Giants have a minor league team there.
2-2. 3-2 for Maxwell. Adrianza, as Mike said, needed that hit, and it came with the infield in and 2 runners in scoring position. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And the walk. So this is what the Giants have done when they've started playing good baseball, is they just move the line along.
And that's where you want to get to as an offense. I mean, you want to have the ability to put a crooked number up on the board. Just rock along. You can have 6 zeros, then all of a sudden, whoop, a 4 spot or a 5 spot goes up there. I mean, that's a dangerous offense.
So here's Nori Aoki. And the pitch, and Aoki takes low. 1 ball and no strikes, only 1 out.
Wind picking up from what it was at the beginning of the game. Giants trying to catch the Dodgers in the National League West.
On the ground up the middle. Jeanette with a flip pass to shortstop Segura, and the bases are loaded.
It's a base hit. Nori Aoki's going to take it. And really another nice play by the Brewers middle infielders. This time it's Scooter Jeanette denying that ball entry into center field, which would have given the Giants more run here. I mean, he almost comes up with a miracle play and get a force out.
That play, it's my recollection, it only works in the World Series in Game 7s.
That's okay.
Here's Blanco. Low to Blanco, 1 ball and no strikes. Joe Panik started that Game 7 double play last year in Kansas City. Who will ever forget that?
One of the greatest in World Series history.
And it brought that baby home.
And as you said, in the 7th game.
1 ball and no strikes. You know what the score was when you made that play?
2-2.
2-2.
And it was a bullet.
If he doesn't make it, the Royals have runners at first and third with nobody out.
Giants 6 grand slams.
1-2.
So you make a play defensively like that in the 7th game of the World Series. Not only is that one of the greatest plays in World Series history, it has to be one of the greatest plays in baseball history.
Yep.
Just given the arena and the game. Sergio Romo finishing off his warm-up throws. He will pitch the 8th inning.
Down low. This was the play we're talking about. It took a replay to get the out at first, but extended, and then the great arm of Crawford.
I mean, everybody involved, from Panik to Crawford to Belt, doing their job. A nice stretch from Belt, and they just do get the out of first by about 2 inches. But it was 2, you can see.
Down the left field line, fouled, and they asked Panic to average. Have you ever made a play like that before? Nope.
It's not one you practice.
Adrianza, Maxwell, and Aoki are your base runners. Deep into left center field for Parra. Parra's going to make the catch. Adrianza is going to score. And that's run number 5 here in the 7th inning.
And another great situational at bat for the Giants. That's 2 sac flies in this inning.
Blanco now with 20 runs batted in. 22. Duffy's going to hit for the 2nd time this inning. He opened up the inning with a line drive into center field. And a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1. Maxwell at second, Aoki at first. Swing and a miss by Duffy, 0-2. There's Maxwell, who drew a walk. Aoki with an infield hit. That's his first hit, by the way, in this series. Duffy taps it foul. Giants had, well, the Giants have 6 hits in this inning. They had 2 hits coming into this inning. Move the line along. All right, who's messing with the Dodgers?
Well, you know, if you were sitting next to me, I would have accused you.
Yeah, that's. If I was in the Gotham Club and I had one too many, you might be right.
Ooh, good 0-2 pitch. Did not miss by much.
I think that's behind there is the Gotham Club.
Yeah, the Gotham Club is behind there.
One ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, we caught him. Do not let the patrons keep the scoreboard. It's down low. It's 2-2. Actually, you know, somebody may have actually bought that at a charity auction. You get to keep score in the Gotham Club.
That's right. With an open bar. Go get them.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And that'll end the inning. Giants scored 5 times. Lots of action. Duffy started it and ended it. And in between, the Giants, 5 runs on 6 hits. They lead 5-0.
True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices with MLB.TV Premium. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, widgets, and more. Go to MLB.TV for details.
5-0 Giants. Sergio Romo into the game. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
So Sergio Romo, the new pitcher now for San Francisco. 43rd time he's come in. 0-4 with a 4.26 ERA. 44 strikeouts in 31 2/3.
And here's Hernan Perez, who takes a strike.
Oh, yeah. Just kind of easing into the bay.
Visiting broadcasters are fascinated with the view that they have when they come here. And they actually try to make us feel bad. And then when we tell them we've paid our dues, and then they finally get it.
Those are the two of the good ones right there.
Brian Anderson, Rock Schrader. And a little pop-up behind second base. And it's going to be Adrianza who puts it away. Check in with Amy G.
All right, gentlemen, everybody likes to get a compliment, and the Giants actually got the ultimate one from the Brewers' first-year manager, Craig Counsell, who recently did an interview with the Sports Virus. He said the Giants are the standard in baseball right now, and nobody comes close. He said it's actually funny they get overlooked each spring as contenders because they won 3 times in the last 5 years. If that was the NFL, it would be incredible. He also added every team that comes through the visitors' clubhouse has an enormous amount of respect for the Giants. Gentlemen.
Well, very nice words from a good guy, and not a good guy just because he said that, but we felt that way a long time ago.
It's just hard to fathom 3 world championships in 5 years in any major league sport. I mean, it's hard enough to get one. And, you know, we were looking. Last weekend was Hall of Fame weekend, and they assembled all the Hall of Famers as they enshrined 4 new entrants. And you look at all these guys, and a lot of those guys just have one. Some of them have none.
I mean, if you think about just the sports in general, the Patriots are the other team that have strung together some world championship seasons. And personality-wise, Bruce Bochy and Bill Belichick, a lot alike.
Yeah.
Oh, I couldn't even finish that with a straight face. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Is shot up the middle and a base hit for Peterson.
Yeah, well, they wear tennis shoes on their off days. That's about the only similarity.
Both absolutely terrific at what they do. So here's Parra.
But anytime you get acknowledged from another guy who you have great respect for, as we do with Craig Counsell, the type of player that he was, I mean, it means a lot.
Parra bunted for a hit in the 6th. Was his sixth hit in the series. I beg your pardon, that's his 5th hit in the series. No balls and 1 strike. Swinging a bouncing ball past Belt into right field. Rounding the bag is Peterson, so he's going to roll into 3rd. Yahoo Sports Talk Live, presented by Comcast Business Class, hosted by Jim Kozimor. Elmer going to do the honors today at 5 on Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. Larry Bear is going to be on. And Killian, Phil Taylor, Alex Pavlovich, he's going to be on. So, a full slate. Called Alex Andy today. It's too early in the morning.
It's all right.
I did not, however, call Andy Alex, so I'd gotten it together by then.
It's a good recovery.
Swing and a miss by Lucroy, and it's 0-1.
Javier Lopez heading down to the Giants bullpen.
Day off tomorrow, right? Get some work in, clean them out, make sure that you get the matchups you want. It is by far a laugher. Pulled on the ground, foul.
Yeah, the Brewers can explode on you.
Yeah, they can.
I mean, I think that's the signature of the Brewers franchise. I mean, to me, I think Brewers and I think hitters. And not since they've come over to Miller Park, which is a good hitter's field. I mean, they were a team with great reputation as hitters in County Stadium, and that was not a hitter's ballpark.
Tapped to Romo, who's just going to come home. And in the rundown is Peterson. And Crawford's going to tag him out. Outs are important. Lucroy ends up at second.
So Peterson did his job once he got hung up between third and home, and his job is get those two runners in scoring position. Hold your position in that rundown long enough for that to happen, and that's exactly what happened.
Sixto Lezcano, Gorman Thomas, Ben Ogilvy. Not a bad outfield for Thumpers. Don Money, Robin Yount, Paul Molitor, Cecil Cooper. Not bad around the infield.
Ted Simmons.
Ted Simmons could be your DH or catch with Charlie Moore.
Charlie Moore.
Killing me.
Gantner.
They could wear you out. Gantner, when Money left, Gantner went to second, Molitor to third.
And that was the one start, near the National League. The only time we faced those Brewers were in spring training. If you got them in Sun City, good luck with that.
First pitch to Braun is popped out of play.
It's just great hitters. It's just great hitters history. And if you look at Brewers history, Ryan Braun is 3 home runs away from Robin Yount for the all-time leader in home runs.
And you can't really consider Yount a home run hitter. I mean, he was a guy that hit home runs, but he did a lot of other things too.
Great player. Hall of Famer.
Swing and a miss, nothing in 2. Got him, and that'll end the inning. Braun strikes out. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Times for the 5-0 lead here at AT&T Park. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
New pitcher now for the Brewers will be the right-hander Corey Knebel. That's what he has done in 23 games. No record yet with a 3.080 ERA. Over a strikeout an inning. He's got good stuff. You're going to see a fastball that's low to mid-90s with a good curveball. I mean, he's another high three-quarter release guy. I mean, they have a bunch of them on the staff. Basically a two-pitch guy. Go get him. Knebel, a rookie. And there's the curveball we're talking about.
Knebel.
Corey Knebel, nicknamed Ebel.
You had me practicing that before the series started. Pence with a swing and a miss, nothing in 2. Pence, you could argue, had the biggest hit in the game. He knocked in the first run of the game. It was 0-0 when he doubled in Duffy. Fouls it out of play. Belt on deck. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Good breaking ball.
That is a good breaking ball. It's from one Texan to another. Between innings, Gerardo Parra kind of touch a base with Hunter Pence as Pence ran by back into the Giants dugout.
Here's Belt. Belt is 1 for 3. Okay, guess what you're going to see, folks? It's that hard breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
I mean, that's a great hook.
In the dirt, a 1 ball and 1 strike. Crawford to follow. We'll see you Friday night in Arlington.
You ready for Texas?
I'm ready. The last thing I packed, I almost forgot it. It's like, seriously, you forget this? I packed my wetsuit.
Your wetsuit?
Yeah. It's going to be a little chilly.
Yeah.
Down comforter.
A couple Longhorns going at each other. Both Brandon Belt, Corey Knebel went to the University of Texas.
Uggs. I packed my Uggs.
Got your Uggs.
It is going to be hot. 3-2 to Belt.
I didn't know Uggs made flip-flops.
Well, they might.
Meanwhile, out of the cove. Drop a line. Listen to the game.
So that's how you fish?
Yeah.
I'm not really much of a fishing guy. I could probably fish that way. Belt rolls it foul. So that's the sport right there.
That's it. It's not get any better than that.
So that's what Billy Hayes does. What do you get? 5 in the morning.
About every half hour, check your bait, reload.
Well, that's like ice fishing, for crying out loud.
Exactly. The only difference is your pole's about 8 feet longer.
And the walk to Belt. So here's Crawford. Lopez headed back to the bullpen. Crawford had an RBI with a sacrifice fly in the 7th. And now a chat. Well, stay tuned immediately after Giants baseball for Esurance Giants postgame live highlights, reaction, analysis. That's right, it's all coming up after the game. Crawford high and foul and out of play. Cubs won again today, right?
Cubs did win today. They beat Colorado 3-2.
Is that a
John Lester, 14 strikeouts in that game. Some amazing stories around the major leagues today.
Tulo?
Chris Archer, well, Tulo, Troy Tulowitzki going to make his debut tonight in Toronto. The Blue Jays host the Phillies. But Chris Archer took a perfect game into the 7th inning today against Justin Verlander, and the Tigers went up losing that ball game. 2-1.
Little shaky defense in that one behind Archer.
Ouch.
Crawford rolls this one on the ground. And that's going to go to second for 1, and that's all they'll get.
And today they're going to camp right here on the grounds at AT&T. Right after the ball game.
Is this
start
today?
to see the tents today. Slumber party, baby.
You and I were going to do that.
Well, we still can. Giants leaving after the game to head to Arlington. You and I, however, not going to make that trip. We're leaving tomorrow. You think those guys are psyched up?
Dad's got his golf clubs. He's going to do a little chip and putting. All right, here's the question. What does Dad really have in that golf bag?
I think he's got 2 pony kegs and a TV set.
A couple of snacks. He might have his Uggs in there. Here's the pitch to Sanchez. And that's a strike. It's 0-2.
That is really one of the cool things to do in this ballpark.
Yeah, our kids did it for a long time.
They did it every year. Loved it.
Low to Sanchez. It's 1-2.
But you talk about something that catches the imagination of a kid. Camping out in a big league yard.
Watch a movie on the scoreboard.
And I mean, a ton of things to do. Food's good. Psyched.
One-two pitch. And that'll end the inning. So we will head to the 9th. Knievel with a couple of strikeouts. 5-0 Giants.
Brought to you by Honda. Well, we think today Hunter Pence is that guy. He's done it with the glove. Early on, taking away extra bags, and watch this throw. An absolute one-hop strike. That was a double play to get Jonathan Lucroy, and he got the big hit in a scoreless game. He comes up, the runner at first,
hits a double and scored Duffy from first, the Giants would have a 5-run 7th inning, and that is why we say Hunter Pence is our play of the game, brought to you by Honda.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Auto Service, your oil change tune-up and brake experts.
So Javier Lopez going to come in here in the 9th inning, start things out. 49th time he's come in. No record on the year with a 1.71 ERA. The league hit 128 against him. Just 11 hits and 26 in the third. He has been brilliant in 2015.
So here's Adam Lind. Inside, 1 ball and no strikes. On the ground to Belt. So here's Gomez. I mean, with Casilla up, I don't know, Bruce Bochy is just going to see how the inning plays along, or if you let Lopez face Gomez.
It could be he's just going to throw a little bit going into the off day. And we've seen Bochy do that even in a blowout ball game.
Yeah.
He'll go through a bullpen there at the end of the ball game and get guys in, keep them sharp as they go into an off day.
I don't think he believes in blowout games.
No, I don't think he does either. Every game has a purpose. Manage your team, keep them sharp. Don't let the guys who are not in there every day go stale.
On the ground to Crawford. So Crawford will take his time. 2 outs. Now that's what I call moving in style.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I've got 2 at home that would definitely be into that, and you got 5 at home that would have been into that.
They still would be.
Here's Chris Davis, who takes low. Yeah, I don't think you outgrow that.
No. No, that just looked like too much fun. I'm sorry.
Absolutely. And a strike. And that's just foul on the third base line.
So Chris Davis coming off the bench, hacking.
He is hacking. So the sellout crowd, many standing. And the pitch. And it's low. 2-2.
This is a nice little bonus, too, for Javier Lopez. He doesn't get a chance to close out a lot of ball games, get that 27th out. And that really is a cool thing to get. Be in the middle of the diamond when everybody's shaking hands, enjoying a win.
In the dirt. Sanchez to first, and that's the ball game. So the Giants